Spirit Empire got to offer here. Knic versus Snipes. A Blasters ditto as well too for this game number 1. Let's get into action here. Game number 1. Knic versus Snipes. Knic starting off on the guitars. Snipes currently without a weapon. Ghost picks up the blasters. Now, this is definitely not the weapon he wants. He definitely wants a spear, but he's going to have to ride it out just for a little bit here. Now, Logan, I know you're back. How do you feel coming into this set here? This is our last match we're going to be casting together for this tournament.
I think that it's going to be a question of, can Snipes stick on spear? Because I think that Guitars is like okay into spear. Like it's fine, as you're seeing, D-Light recovery. But blasters into Guitars, I feel like it's kind of miserable. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm thinking about it a little bit more, and like there's situations where I feel like it could be okay. But like me personally, I find that I definitely struggle with blasters into Guitars.
I would say
maybe some A to instigate action though. Oh, gets back to stage though. As the spear primes, looking for it. Yep.
You know, kind of just talking about kind of their history. I mean, they haven't had much of a history, like, kind of clashing together. But I know Snipes to be more of a 2s player than a 1s player. But he is a decent 1s player. He is able to go toe-to-toe with some, I mean, decent players in 1v1s. And, I mean, he's made it this far in today's tournament. I mean, coming in top 8 winner's side, his spear, we've seen through past sets, has been immaculate. I think for this one, it's going to be hard to say who's going to be winning it, because the way that Knic has been playing throughout today's tournament, the Guitars has been popping off. Same thing could be said for Snipes. His spear has been popping off. And you know, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, Logan.
Big punish, double D-Light. Oh, no, he doesn't go for the double. He goes for the GC insig.
He went for the reverse. The reverse hits. Oh my god, wait. He catches him.
That's a reversal.
Oh my goodness. That's all it takes. And Logan, I want to point this one out. It's interesting that kind of both of these guys, their main legends being Ada and the Lucian, but like when you see them play, they're not on the blasters at all. They're on their like secondary weapon.
That's super true. I hadn't really considered that. The blasters are an afterthought. They're just immediately thrown away.
Oh god, you would never see Knic really play blasters. It's only Guitars, and same for Snipes. It's never blasters. It's only spear. But getting back to this action here, it's, I mean, man.
Oh my goodness.
Last stock position.
There.
But once again, if anybody could bring this back, it's definitely Knic, and he has the Guitars in hand. He just has to be careful of his spear off stage. He has to be careful of his spear on stage. A down stick could be definitely coming, but these Guitars have to cook up here. Knic has to try to get something huge. There we go, the down stick. I called it out. I knew it. I read into the future. Snipes is gonna
third
be
eye open hockey.
Damn, all my eyes are open, bro. I'm glued to this set, bro. This set, one to watch, bro. It's definitely one to watch.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you adapt as your Knic going into this second set, because I feel like the game plan is super easy if you're Snipes. Like spear into Guitars, I can rationalize very easy. Like if they're approaching you sideways, you N-Light. If they're jumping, you can D-Light, or you can do some sort of nair, and you can kind of just control the space, I feel like, pretty easily on spear. But on blasters, I don't feel that way at all. I feel like you can it's very easily to bait some sort of reaction. Like you can bait an N-Light or a D-Light out from blasters and then approach, but spear doesn't have that same sort of like committalness.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you can throw out the N-Light when you're out of range, and by the time Guitars is close enough to punish, it's like side light, you're oftentimes in range for some sort of A to sig, like a D sig or a side sig. You back up, you can reposition.
So what I'm kind of wondering now is, are we going to be seeing Knic kind of play blasters just a little bit more? Maybe he's going to be opting to play the blasters into the spear, like kind of we're seeing now, perhaps to kind of just avoid that Guitars and spear matchup. But honestly, you're looking at it in the way that Snipes is performing right now, the lead that he has over onto Knic. I mean, man, it's just massive. And once again, Snipes is that type of person that somehow he makes the Ada work. Like, he's proficient at it to the level where he knows this legend inside out. Like, I'm pretty sure if Brawlhalla wasn't capped at level 100, this guy would be like level 300 Ada. Or something, bro. Because, I mean, that's how much time he's put into specifically just playing Ada. It's crazy.
Yeah, he was playing a phenomenal first stock. Somehow Knic got a down air gimp to stuff the recovery, which gave him the lead for a brief moment, but is tied up second stock apiece. Ooh. You see Boomy do that all the time. Prep and throw up into the N-Light. He'd get N-Lighted, then he'd wake up with an N-Light of his own. That Snipes doing a great job controlling the distance. making Knic approach him. Side light, turn around D light. Great job. Goes to the recovery to catch the cross up. How's Knic gonna land? Oh, with a ground pound he is. That's how he is.
Nice punishing that down sig. You gotta get those GC punishes. There we go. Another down sig there from Knic, but that one didn't catch on the guitars. But you see, he went for the dare, I believe, but he was just he got caught. What a dodge though with the down sig over on the blasters. Now he's looking to get the KO. But the blasters now blasters 0 time. Nice there. Looking for the weapon throw. He looked for the kick, but Knic is able to bring it back. Nice GC down sig, able to get the KO, and that's gonna be that stock. Snipes, though, has the lead. Knic needs to try to see if he can get control back into this one. He's not that far behind, but he needs to get the stop immediately.
Yeah, Knic is having to play, like, frame-perfect brawlhalla to stay in this one, it feels like. Snipes is just, like, he's winning the battle in terms of spacing, in terms of, like, timing and tempo, but Knic is hanging in this one purely by his reaction time and ability to, like, punish things that look almost impossible to punish.
Yeah.
Just purely based off of his awareness and
I feel like
speed.
one thing as well too with Knic,
Like that nair to punish D-Light was absurd. That's all. It's just because he's reacting quickly.
we might be rolling down to the last seconds of this game here. Knic tries to make it back. Oh no, bro, that's gonna be it. Knic is going to be going down right now. 2-0. Snipes has 1 game away from
Knic,
claiming
if you
this
can
one.
hear me, it's Jala time.
It's Jala time.
It's Jala time.
It's
Knic,
Jala time.
if you can hear me, Knic,
Is it Jala time?
it's Jala time.
You gotta tell him in chat or something, bro. I don't think Jala is the pick. I'll be honest. I don't even think Bryn is the pick. But we're gonna see if we'll give him some. we'll give him some time to see here. He said
Hell
no.
no.
So yeah, he definitely doesn't want that Jala. But
Oh my
you know, one thing
goodness.
I want to say about Knic, man, he's able to. I feel like when Knic, the way that Knic is able, I mean, throughout those last 2 games, we saw kind of some very like short, quick, explosive moments coming in from Knic. Whilst you see Snipes is able to just gradually just build up damage quickly with the spare. I feel like that kind of separates them in a sense, where you see kind of just Knic, like he had some quick like turnarounds where you see some like quick games he's able to bring, and that's how he's able to bring back the games here. And I mean, you can't kind of depend on those games, especially if you're playing against a player like Snipes who's just looking to take you off clean off the top here in this game number 3. But man, Knic has to have some sort of adaptation coming into this game here in this game number 3, because he's down right now. This could be his last game here in today's tournament. He has to make this one count.
Snipes looks so good. Oh my goodness, that D6 connects. I'm not sure I see a world in which this adaptation happens. That ground pound was hyper, and that down air as well. Snipes looks very, very, very solid this whole set. He's punishing everything, like almost frame perfect. I mean, oh, that side light does go slightly under.
You know, one thing we forgot to even point out is the region difference between these guys. Snipes is an East player, whilst Knic is a West player. So, you know, there is Knic. I mean, he is playing kind of at a deficit at the moment because we are on East servers. But, I mean, he doesn't have too much of a hard time on East, I believe. But I mean, he's still able to go toe-to-toe with some people on East. But still, he is going to have that kind of input delay. Still going to have that kind of lag coming in. And we all know brawlhalla, and the game, it does not be running good sometimes.
It's sensitive to its environment for sure.
Yeah.
Right down there, punish from Snipes into the side sig. He's gonna go ahead and close out Knic's second stock.
This one.
Oh, I did not see that coming. Did you see that coming, Augie?
No, I
The
did
D-light, D-light into nothing as the weapons that went up.
But Knic needs to try to see if he can get the second stock out of here. He goes for the ground pound, but the Snipes
He's in
turning around
trouble.
on him. Nope. Knic is able to make it back, but he's expecting Snipes to go for the weapon. Snipes is just playing it safe.
Oh my goodness. Unarmed side light into weapon pickup. His confidence. Recovery, just kind of stalling, trying to get backstage. Does get turnaround GC in sig though. Great punish from Knic.
Yeah, I mean, it's last stock position here. Come on, Knic. You got to bring this one back. You got the guitars in hand. You got to avoid these signatures. You got to avoid these spear hits. You got to start to cook up on these guitars.
Great dodge. Gets away from the recovery. Doesn't get away from the down air. Ooh,
Oh,
that's
That's not good.
Yeah, that sig was a bait.
Oh, the ground pound. I think he was looking for a GC down sig, but that is gonna be it. Sadly, all the Knic fans, I'm sorry to say, but the GOAT is out of the tournament. Snipes has won this match and punches his ticket into the losers semifinals.
Wow.
What do you
Heartbreaking stuff.
What's your
was-
thoughts, bro?
I mean, Snipes looks incredible. Snipes looked incredible that set. The spear down airs were just like unreactable. Like there were so many times where I didn't know if a spear down air was coming, and it just came out of nowhere and blindsided me. Plus the signature usage to read any sort of like landing, any sort of like easy dodge in like wake up punish was constantly just like pressure that was oppressive, and it showed. But super well played to Knic. Had a fantastic tournament run. Definitely put on a show with the guitars. Phenomenal reaction time. Really fun player to watch. Always a fun player to watch.